Now let's try to integrate one of the clouds we extracted in the previous video. This one is nice. So at the moment it's too blue. So let's create a curve and remove some of the blues. You see it's already better. If I wanted to use it, let's say here, to add more details in the clouds in front of the building. Like that. So here the grade is quite okay. I think it's a bit too green. Let's remove some of the green and we can make it a bit darker as well. I'm trying to match the color of the cloud to those clouds there that are also in shadow. I will create another grade, another curve to grade just the tip, creating a gradient so that it only affects the tip of the cloud, adding a bit more blue. And now I'm grading this part. It needs to be a bit brighter to match this cloud over there. So more like that. And if you want to be sure that your image is matching your background, you can either eyeball it like I'm doing, or a trick is to create a curve on top of all your image. And if you want to check, let's say your highlights, you are going to darken your image a lot until you see only the highlights. And here you see that it's going to make the issues really stand out. Like here you really see that my new cloud is too blue compared to the one in the background, which you don't necessarily see here. By increasing the contrast, you really see the differences. So now I can go back to my curve and decrease the blues in the highlights and add a bit more red as well. Maybe increase the brightness a bit. Oops, not too much. It's a very subtle job. It's already better. So I'm creating a mask to apply it only there, because here I think it's already good. I can even create a new layer snapped to my current layer and pick the color there and painting that color on my cloud to really match it. And because it's snapped, even if I paint there, it's only going to affect the cloud itself because it uses this layer as an alpha because it's snapped. And now let's grade this part of the cloud. I'm going to create another curve and I see that it's too blue again. So let's remove some of the blue. Let's remove some green as well. Should be better like that. And I'm creating a gradient to apply the effect only on the bottom of the cloud. And if you want to check your shadow, you can do the same thing, but the other way around. You can see here that if I compare this rock that I added to the rock from my previous photo, you see that it's a bit too dark compared to the background and a bit too magenta as well. So I can fix that. Now it's better. But I think I'm going to remove it anyway. I prefer it without. So it's always good to keep a curve on top of everything like that and use it to check your integrations. Or like that, I see that my new cloud here is too yellow in the shadow compared to this one. So I'm going to fix that because I graded only the highlights but not the shadows yet. So let's add some blue in the shadow. Now let's create a new curve. And maybe some red a bit. It's very subtle, but those subtle changes are going to make the difference to make the whole image more photoreal at the end. So with those two adjustment layers, curve and hue saturation, you can really integrate any photo in your image.